This is IELTS Explorer with NCAN, your home of latest scholarship updates and all the IELTS tips that will help you secure a minimum band score of 7. So kindly subscribe if you haven't done so. To my returning viewers, you are welcome back. And to my new viewers, you are welcome to this channel. You can find scholarship links and IELTS listening test with answers in the video description and at the end of this video. So kindly check them out. In today's video, I'll be talking about IELTS writing test, the overview of the IELTS writing test. This is one of the components of the IELTS test, in addition to speaking, reading, and listening. So I'll give an overview about the IELTS writing test, the academic model. So the test consists of 2 tasks, and these 2 tasks should be completed or answered. The overall timing of the test is 60 minutes, and you'll be required to answer 2 questions within the period. Topics captured in the 2 tasks are suitable for test takers entering undergraduate and postgraduate studies or seeking professional registration. So let's look at task 1. What is entailed in task 1? In task 1, you'll be required to answer 1 question. In fact, the question is only 1 and you are required to answer it. You are expected to write your response within 20 minutes out of the 60 minutes of the test. Test takers are asked to describe some visual information which consists of either graph, table, chart, diagram, processes. There are a lot of task types in this task 1 in their own words, and responses must be in an academic or semi-formal or neutral styles. That is, they should be written in full sentences. The minimum word length for task 1 is 150 words. So let's look at the focus for task 1. In task 1, it assesses the ability to identify the most important and relevant information, and also trends in a visual, and your ability to give a well-organized overview of it using language accurately in an academic style. So in task 1, you are not supposed to give minor or irrelevant details of the visual. You are just supposed to be able to identify important details and report as such. So let's look at a sample question of task 1. This is how task 1 questions look like. There are different forms of visuals that can be presented in task 1. This is one of them. So in this question, we have writing task 1. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The graph below shows radio and television audiences throughout the day in 1992. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Write at least 150 words. So this is a diagram of the radio and television audiences in UK. So this is how task 1 questions look like. Let's continue. At the end of the day, how are you assessed for your task 1 response? So there are 4 assessment criteria over here. We have 1 for task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical results, and grammatical range and accuracy. I'll give details shortly. Let's now look at the second task, which is task 2 of the IELTS writing test. In task 2, again, you will be required to answer just the one and only question that will be presented to you, and you are required to produce your response in 40 minutes. You'll be given a topic and you'll be required to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or problem about the topic. Again, your responses should be in 4 sentences and in a full formal style. You are required to write a minimum of words of 250. To my candidate or test takers, In task 2, you are supposed to read the question carefully and give a full and relevant response. Let me chip in here that task 2 constitutes bulk of the overall score of the writing test, approximately 2 times that of task 1, meaning that you have to pay much attention to the task 2 and you shouldn't waste a lot of time about task 1, although task 1 is important. If you are not able to perform well in task 2, it is very difficult for you to achieve a very high band score in the writing test. Let's look at example of task 2 question. This is an example. So this is how it looks like. We have writing task 2. You should spend about 40 minutes on this task. This is the question. 100 years ago, traveling between continents by ship took weeks. Nowadays, development in aviation mean that people can travel the same distance by plane in hours. Compare and contrast these two forms of long distance transport and state which one you prefer. So this is what you are supposed to do. Compare and contrast these two forms of long distance transport. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own experience. Write at least 250 words. So this is example of a task 2 question. Most of the times you'll be given a topic and you are asked to write an essay with most of the times you'll be given a topic and you'll be most of the times you'll be given a topic and you'll be required to write an essay about it. So that is how a sample of the task 2 questions. Let's continue. So in task 2, the focus of the task is to assess the ability of the candidate to present a clear, relevant, and well-organized argument, giving evidence or examples to support their ideas and use the language accurately. So this is the focus of the task 2 response. Now let's look at the performance. So task 2, how is it assessed? It is assessed in a similar way to task 1, with the exception of the task response instead of task achievement in task 1. What are the possible penalties that can be incurred in both task 1 and task 2? In both tasks, you'll be penalized if your answer is too short. So if you write less than 150 words for task 1 and less than 250 words for task 2, you'll be penalized. For candidates who write off topic about the task that have been given to them, you'll also be penalized. And for those who don't write full sentences and write in bullet point or note form, you'll also be penalized. Candidates who plagiarize will also be penalized, that is copying from another source. And this is the last one, is one of the this is a common mistakes that most candidates do. Candidates who lack vocabulary, they like copying directly from the question. If you do that, you also be penalized. Let's look at the performance descriptors for both task 1 and task 2. In task 1, you'll be assessed on task achievement. And when we talk about task achievement, what do we mean? It assesses how appropriately, accurately, and relevantly the response fulfills the requirements set out in the task. So for task 1, it has a defined input and a largely predictable output. You are not supposed to write outside what has been given to you. The visual, the table, that is the table, the diagrams, the pie charts, all of them, you are only restricted to the information that is given to you in the question. So it has a defined input and a predictable output. In task 2, you'll be assessed on task response. In task 2, there is no right or wrong answer. It requires the test takers to formulate and develop a position in relation to a given prompt in the form of a question or statement. And ideas should be supported by evidence, and examples may be drawn from the candidate's own experience. So this is one of the assessment criteria that is used to assess both task 1 and task 2. The other 3 is the same for both task 1 and task 2. So I'll cover both. The next one is coherence and cohesion. Overall, this refers to how responses are organized and information, ideas, and language linked. So for coherence, you should be able to arrange your ideas in logical sequence. Your ideas should be written in paragraphs. And this logical sequence of ideas, that is the paragraph, should also be linked by appropriate cohesive devices such as pronouns, logical connectors, conjunctions, in order to give a well-organized and clear information. The next assessment criterion is lexical resource. This refers to the usage of varied range of vocabulary and its accuracy and appropriacy in terms of the specific task. Candidates should know that you are not supposed to impress the examiner with uncommon vocabulary. However, the use of uncommon vocabulary is tolerated if it is used appropriately. So it should be used in context and it should be appropriate to the specific task. The last assessment criterion is grammatical range and accuracy. It refers to the range and accurate use of grammar. You should blend the mix of simple and complex sentences. Your responses should be mixed with both simple and complex sentences, and this you'll be assessed on that. So this is an overview about IELTS writing test, the academic model. Going forward, you have access to a lot of IELTS writing tests with examiner certified answers and comment. So viewers, I would like you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to this channel. I have a lot of good offers for you. I've covered a lot of scholarship offers and IELTS listening tests with answers, and these can be found in my video description and at the end of this video. Make sure you check them out. Till then, bye.